Hello, everybody. Welcome from all over the world to join me in Los Angeles and my dear wife, Victoria. We're going to do a short demo together in the first hour, and then we'll guide you through the painting or writing through. After that, we'll do a brief critique. First of all, let me introduce our online class. And I want to share some paintings for discussion. I have this lady. She joined me the second day after the lockdown of Italy. She's from Florence. I think Claire is here today. Are you? Maybe, oh, she's in European time, so next Sunday she'll be in our class. But I think she is my inspiration for this lesson. From that time, I feel I have the obligation to connect everybody who, sharing this experience together. And we try to calm ourselves down by practicing Chinese brush painting. And let me share her story here. And if you can read. Hello, I'm Clara, and I'm in Italy. So she said, painting is a good distraction from the difficulties of our current situation here in Italy. I find painting bamboo very cathartic today. I'm going to attempt a bigger picture. And this bamboo, I give her 5 stars. It's very peaceful bamboo, very moving, better than these two. For some reason, I critiqued, and I quoted a poem. I already put in the chat box. If you could, see that you don't have to write this poem. But I want to read this poem to start with. My translation of the Chinese poem is: "My long days are difficult to live. Painting the English gentleman is how I pass time. I don't want my delicate leaves to be disturbed by wind, because already too much turmoil in this world." This was written by a Ming Dynasty painter, master Xu Wei. He was regarded as the father of Sumie in Japan, also in China, or throughout the world. The author is Xu Wei. And we'll talk, what is the characteristics of Chinese brush painting, and Xu Wei is a great example. Okay, let me leave that. I'm going to show you that picture I did just months before I left China, with that poem I just read inscribed on it. 32 or 30, it's in 87 or 86, about 32 or 33 years ago. Okay, here. It's a long strip hanging downstairs in our studio right now. I just took those pictures. So I'm going to put it here when we talk about what is Chinese brush painting versus Western painting or other media. The first, I would say, is in between. It's not absolutely abstract, non-realistic, but it's something in between. So it's an expression of an idea or emotion like I just shared with you. What do you think about this painting I did in China? Okay, let me talk just a few minutes about why I did this painting. Because when just before we left, there was a crackdown on the so-called bourgeoisie influence movement or something like that. There's some political persecutions going on just before Tiananmen Square. You know, it's in 87. So I already feel the change in okay, the change in political, you know, and the climate there. So I decided to leave the country and try to, you know, to stay away from politics and the regime, you know, there. But anyway, it's a escapism. Chinese painting is about escape the reality, help you going through trauma. And so if you read my self-introduction on the website, I talked about in Cultural Revolution, why this tradition carried on, you know. So this time is time to paint, everybody. Without talking just to the air, I would like to have some questions, if any response. You can unmute yourself. Bill, are you there? Do you have any comments on what's
I'm here.
Hi.
And hello, everyone. I like the idea, just in general, that painting is a good way to escape reality. Not that we want to escape reality in our lives, but to be able to escape it by going into painting is really a great privilege.
Yeah, that's another thing. Painting is done by what we call the leisure class or literati class. Yeah, they are amateur scholars. They have yeah. So Bill is a very Bill is very I guess my mentor in Western figure painting. So together, maybe we'll do something soon. Just the idea. So we have some. Yeah, this is a good time and chemistry. You know, to work something very meaningful and to pass down to the next generations, maybe. So we are, you know, connected through this Zoom thing.
Hi, can I just make a comment? My name is Bila Berkowitz, and my friend Mickey, who signed up for the class together with me, could not get on. So I just sent her my email, which is why you're seeing two Bila Berkowitzes on your screen.
Okay.
One of them is
yeah,
actually
if you
Mickey.
know somebody who cannot sign, help them out. Just with your the code is the same. Yeah, everybody is the same code. So
I did, but
thank you for your help. Yeah, please.
I just looked at everybody, and we have two Bilas in there. One of them is my friend Mickey, is what I'm saying.
Okay, I don't mind at all. Thank you, I appreciate that. All right, that's one idea. You know, it's the escapism, the hermit kind of spirit. So we paint something is away from daily life, and especially landscape or bamboo orchids, they symbolize this kind of spirit, independent of what's going on. And I would like to introduce a very important technical requirement for Chinese brush painting, which is known as the bone stroke. Talking about the line quality or rhythm of line, we would like to start by a little bit warm up of the basic strokes of Chinese. You can compare to my painting on the lower left with you know, the calligraphy we're going to show you. Somebody in this audience asked me to do birds. So I'd like to ask Victoria to write the Chinese character for birds first before we do the painting. What do you think about this idea, everybody? Agree?
Agree.
Sure.
Sure. Okay, Victoria.
Hello everyone, this is Victoria.
Hello.
And where's the image for the birds?
I do
Where is
this.
it?
You do.
No, I mean, where's
Just go
the
forward
or
several.
so the panda.
Mm.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the character for birds, and for the calligraphy. Actually, we got one question this morning from the sign-in audio audience, and she asked heard somebody said the fundamental thing for Chinese painting is the calligraphy. Was that true? Yeah, yes, yes. And how do I say? The strokes helped. Lots of techniques for the calligraphy. The strokes.
Yes, yes, it was me, Victoria. Thank you very much for doing it. I can't wait for start the classes with you. That's very interesting for me. I have been learning.
Okay, and the strokes, and also stroke techniques are transferable to the Chinese painting, because there are in Chinese painting there are lots of lines. So talk about the line quality. First, of course, to learn the calligraphy strokes, and it will help. And also, some people talked about the Chinese painting, the Chinese calligraphy is kind of the abstract things from the Chinese painting. Well, we'll probably talk about this later. And we practice Chinese calligraphy actually as our agenda for the workshop, like when we have the whole day workshop. First section actually is Chinese calligraphy. So I will do some practice with the students, explain things, and ask them to do some things. They got some feeling of the control of the handling of the Chinese brush, and later do the painting thing. So you don't have to learn the Chinese exactly the language or the characters, but learn some techniques from the calligraphy, the line, the strokes. Okay, today I think Henry is going to do some subject matter about the birds. So I'm going to write the character birds for in Chinese calligraphy. I will use, I think, just this water thing.
Victoria, what brush do you think we should use for that?
I'm sorry, what's your question?
What brush do you recommend we use for that, for calligraphy?
For calligraphy, of course, actually it's very depends. For the beginner, because Chinese brush is the tip top for the bristle part, and we hold that vertically, and by pressing and lifting, you make the line, the strokes wider and narrower, by pressing. So depends on how big the characters. Of course, for larger characters, you choose, of course, the longer, the bigger bristle one. And for beginner, people usually use usually like to use we call it wolf hair, actually as just the category for the stiff hair. So the brown color for the new one, stiff hair brush, which one, that one bounce back, back to the tip back, bounce back easier. But for advanced or some calligrapher, they like to use soft hair, the white hair one, right? Because you can like express more, because softer contains more water. When you press, it become bigger, easier, and when you gradually lift it, it's become narrower and narrower. However, if you want to choose the bigger one, we have the bigger one. And also, we have the combination one. If you just want to get one brush, we have combination one. I don't have that in my hand right now. The combination one, which means like in the center is stiff hair to keep the shape. And outside is soft hair to like a reservoir to hold the more water consistently to keep the moisture. So the combination one will be the, if we want to get just one brush, so combination one. But however, we have like in our website, we have the like a 3 basic, we call 3 basic one, with the soft one and the stiff one and the little one for like a painting for the leaf wing. We have 3 basic one. Yeah, you can get that one, or just one for combination. And also for advanced students, you might want to get the Wang Xizhi brush. That one a little bit expensive, but with much better quality for that. And it is said in Chinese, it saves you like 10 years practicing. I shouldn't say that, but that's yeah, that's much easier. Some people, if you believe like a tool thing, yeah, that one. But for the beginner, I will say just the combination one, or the basic 3 with the stiff one and the soft one. And for like a 2-inch, square inch, the character like this big. So you just choose the 3 basic one. The size will be good enough. If a larger character, I have really large one, of course, for presentation. It's like a big mop, yeah. So I think I answered your question. Did I? Yes. Okay. I'm going to write the character for bird today. For calligraphy, normally we have like we shows like 3 styles. First is standard, so more squarish, standard. And the second is walking style, which means the strokes more like connected, more connected. And the third one, of course, you can guess, is running. So after walking, it's running style. Some people call it grass style. So kind of a messy grass and very quick. Okay, so I'm going to write both 3 style. Yes, this is just water. I just use water. This is called magic cloth, which means environmental friendly, and it will dry in air. So bird. Here is the, you can see the swing on the down to the left down. This is the computer printout calligraphy, and that's a standard. That's a standard. Okay, so this stroke, press and the lift, and then vertical, and then horizontal, press, turning, horizontal, horizontal, horizontal one again, but not the same length, try to make. And horizontal, pass, turn, vertical, and pass, and gradually lift, make the hook. And then 4 dots, but different direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, and lift it in the air. Okay. A little bit of, I'm sorry, can you see that? Yeah, a little bit of smeared. Yeah. So when I dip in the water, you know, like a real ink, you thoroughly wet it and need to do that, do this kind of things to get extra water out. Otherwise, it will smear. Okay, that's a standard. Standard is too fat now become, okay, that's standard. And the walking style, still this stroke, but some connected. So like a 1 step, so left leg, right leg. When you walk fast and fluent, you will do right? So this is a standard 1 stroke by 1 stroke, and the walking style will be like that. Now I'm writing walking style. So this one connect with this one and do this one. And then 4 dots become just 1 rising like a horizontal stroke. This is the walking style. More connected than the standard, right? Okay. Before it's totally dry. I will write the running style. Running style is kind of, you need to, even for us, we learned when we were children, we learned the standard, and then for practical using, we learned walking style. Walking style is still the looking is still like you can still tell from the standard, but for the running style, the grass style, it's kind of the different form. Sometimes for us, we need to learn it. It's a different, like different trace, but yeah. But on the painting, usually like a poem or a signature, you use the running style. Okay, running style for the bird character. That's running style. So very different from the standard, from the walking style, right? I will write again. Actually, were more like original, you know, the character is from the like an image of the bird. However, I will write this is the standard again, with more stroke and more I'm sorry, cannot talk and concentrate. More squarish. So this is a standard form. However, talking about the calligraphy, we normally have like three styles, and some people like a standard, and they even say that on the name seal, I want the standard, more clear and more squarish, and I think for the students' question this morning, the strokes practicing, the calligraphy practicing, how become the fundamental thing for the or for the essential thing for the Chinese painting, or help Chinese painting. You know, the strokes, like this water cloth I use is plain. You can plain any size of Chinese character, and also we have this kind of with this grid for especially for the characters. So no matter how many strokes in the Chinese character, so it's supposed to arrange them for the square, for in the square. Okay, so this is try to help the beginner, or for them for the practicing, for arrange the the place. This thing in Chinese is rice. We call it rice, but it's like an English flag. Okay, we also have this kind of stroke. We call stroke guide. This stroke guide. See this stroke guide, for example. We have 24 strokes, and the first of the strokes, of course, is this kind. This first one, dot. And we have arrow here and some space. You're supposed to follow the direction of this arrow to do that and fill that, but one stroke, and you supposed to fill out the whole space, but do not just repeat, do that. We do always one stroke, and if not very good, you do it again and again. Okay, and see this stroke, we call it like the sweep down stroke. So press and then gradually lift. So this calligraphy stroke, and later, if you know this stroke, which means you got the feeling of the Chinese brush, to handling with this brush by pressing and lift. So for this direction and that direction, and then become Chinese painting of the four gentlemen, bamboo leaves, right? Bamboo leaves. So three in a group, touch, press and lift. Press and lift, press and lift, press and lift. See, this is bamboo leaves, three in a group, but not from same dot and not same length. So bamboo leaves, and you can do the different direction. Press and lift, press and lift, and press and lift. So the young one is going up, and the old one usually going downward. Of course, you can do the fourth one, the fifth one. So it's bamboo leaves from this stroke, by just press and lift, right? And also we have, for example, like this stroke, press and then lift, but quick lift, like a kick. And these kind of things is helped you to do the painting of what, like the throat on the rose stem, rose chunk, rose branch, lots of things. So, however, people, if asked, directly the usage of the calligraphy is that used for techniques transferable to the Chinese painting, of course. And we see the orchid, the large, the long one, see? Press, lift, press, lift, press, lift, right? Press, lift, press, lift. Yeah. I think that's how much I talked about at first for the calligraphy stroke, how useful in the Chinese painting. And however, I just opened the Zoom class and website from next Tuesday, and I will have first section for like a four class, 1 hour 1 week Tuesday, and for 4 weeks the whole section. You are more than welcome to sign up for the class, and I will tell the 3 styles: standard, and walking style, and the running style. And first half of hour, I will do the demo and the explanation. And the second one, I will help you to write along with me, and I will help you to write like a virtually hands-on. And later, I think lots of people asked, they want to sign their name on the painting, or write a piece of like a phrase or poem along with the painting. So I opened this Zoom class for the Chinese characters. And of course, I also write some larger characters. You don't have to learn the language, but just write the one character for like an image, like a painting, to enjoy it, like for the dragon or something like that, like this kind of things. Okay, I'm glad I got a chance to see you online. And now I'm going to give this to Henry and continue to your class.
Thank you, Victoria.
Victoria.
Yes.
Just one ask for your classes. Please teach us how to sign our pictures. That could be great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
how to describe
my request. Thank you very much.
Okay. How to inscribe the pictures? Okay.
No, how to sign the pictures.
How to sign? Yeah, she mentioned how to sign your name. Yeah, that's included in the class.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I'm going to do a bird demo after my great teacher, what is called my teacher's teacher. Let me show you a new picture, and let me change the image on the left. Okay, let's see, where is that? How long do you think it takes for a master to do a bird? Anybody got any ideas?
"30 seconds."
That's why I'm not in a hurry, because anyway, I was going to show you the Time magazine series photo. Let me see, I should find that. Okay, here. Let me show you what it takes. Can you see the picture here? And do you notice the clock? That, let me see, is this maybe this is the last one? Oh, that's the finish. Okay. Anyway, if you compare this time, it's about less than 10 minutes, I will say. 5 minutes, 3 minutes maybe. I think the story says he would do it in 3 minutes. the whole painting, not just the bird. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do the different flowers, maybe plum blossom. Just
Henry, which brush?
okay, hold on. I'll just use 3 basics. I got a whole bunch of brush, some new brushes for background wash. Actually, it's good for watercolor. I'll just use the stiff and the soft combination brush that Victoria mentioned. Here's the image. You can see the stiff hair in the middle, soft hair around it. That's good for birds. And for petals, you can use softer brush. And for the trunk and the beak and the claws, use the stiff brush. Or you can use this small stiff brush, whistle or wolf here. Okay. And we have some other brushes. I have a good one. I'm not going to use it now. It's a Zhan Da Qian, the documentary, the legendary master. We broadcasted earlier this afternoon while you wait for the meeting. Anyway, any other questions about the supplies? For this demo, I use ink and Japanese block ink. It's kind of opaque watercolor. I just feel it's more convenient than I do have the but they are all dried up. And I have this whole box, and let me just show you. But I have unopened them. I just put them like squeeze out from the bottle and put in there. It's too little space to spread here. So I'll just use this block, color blocks. Okay, and I'll put my brush here so you can see which one is using. Let me know if the picture didn't show. Let me see, palette, maybe here. Okay, I think it's enough. Okay, I'm going to do maybe just one bird. A simple one. A simple one is just 5 strokes, maybe. Okay, I forgot this one is the soft. This one is soft, pure white. This is mixture one, and I need this saucer, a plate, so you can see better. First, I use a little ink. This is from bottled ink. You can grind your ink. Sometimes I grind on the base of this bottled ink to make it really thick. That's what I learned from the old master, my own teacher. There's some watercolor left. Well, that's nice. I like that. Blue ink instantly. So don't wash your palette. Blue gray. You can add some indigo if you want. So basically, a blue gray color. And I touch a little bit dark gray, not pure black. I save that for the eye, like that. So loading is very important. Gradually, you will have a sense of what what's on the brush. If it's too wet or too dry, and you want some, you want enough moisture so the stroke blurs, create some kind of feathery effect. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to think about is where is my bird? Certainly, I would. You can take a look at the master where he did. I'm not going to do the birds in the same direction, so I would change direction towards a diagonal usually, either this way or that way. And there are four places you put 1, 2, 3, 4. The quarter or the thirds, right? Yeah, same as Western painting. Many people start from the head, like with chicks would do that, because the chick is rounded. Usually the head is big, and so I'll do the back first. I'll just do the back first. That's my master's unique approach, because this part is relatively stable, unless what you see in the picture on the left, he would do the head first. If the head is in front, maybe of the back, he will do that. Yeah, look at that. But I kind of turn the direction a little bit. So now I have the back, right? So the next stroke is, remember the dot in the bird's character? If you learn the calligraphy well, there shouldn't be any problem to do this stroke, right? You can leave a little bit tip, but it's cute not to have any sharp tips, and then just stroke for the belly. And you see how the stroke separate on this magic paper called the rice paper, unsized shrine, single shrine. I'm sorry, can you see it? Unsized single shrine. Yeah, that's a big disadvantage for new beginners, because it's not forgiving. If you make any change, it will leave a mark, so people can tell if you did it not in one stroke. Okay, then just without reloading, just keep going. You will have all the gradation and the variations from wet to dry. I normally avoid. Actually, the master did that. That's something I should avoid. Don't because he did it in a hurry. No time thinking. If you put the beak and the tail in the same direction on the same string, it's boring. So I will change the direction from, a different angle. So a little bit change, right? Now you can change brush. If you want to do two birds, maybe that's good practice. So you save that gray, and then you just load pure ink with a smaller brush. Make sure the brush is not too dry in the heel. Can you see how I just did? So that will make sure it will not blob, it will not drip on the paper, not create a big blob. That's very important to know that the bottom, the heel of the brush should be dry. You see if I'm not dry enough. So this is dry on wet. Okay, actually this two side wings, we should make a distinction, maybe. That's a shoulder. I just want to emphasize this is the other wing on the other side. Let me explain later. You'll get my handout in the online class on this birds. And this is side view, so we don't have to do all three. This is like that. You can indicate a little bit, and you can even omit the other one. But just so there's sense of perspective, or front and back. Because the front always solid. We call it. Maybe in Western painting, this is harder than. The real one is farther and softer, so just more solid, more suggestive, something like that. Now I use my stiff brush for the branch. Well, you might say you want to do the flower first, but normally we do the branch. We have to remember where to leave some space for the flowers. I just realized you don't see my ink palette, but that's okay. I think not too much action there. Just a small space. Okay. We can do that. Okay. So you got everything in the picture. All right. So you can use a little bit amber, just like I added the cool to the ink. You can add some warm to make it a little warm gray, but not too much. You don't need to blend too much. So there's some unevenness there. And I will start not from here because I want to have more control. In the beginning, I can have some blur, some smear, something like that. So okay, and another very important question is where you introduce the branch. There's a theory called the 8 positions of starting off a branch. If you don't know that, you can review my lesson 1 and principles of composition. And then I think I also put it in the lesson 2 for other for the plan. So for plan, I will always go from this 8 positions, other than the middle, the centers. So you start from here or here or here. I will go. Maybe this is a little long, so I will do a little. Maybe something a Z kind of S-shaped movement. So start from this, and you can vary the angle of the brush. This paper is very absorbent. Besides, I put 2 layers. It's like double. I mean, I'll talk you why we do this, but it's not on purpose. You don't have to do this. I just double insurance. If something fails, I may use the other one just for this demo. So vary the sections in between ones. This is what we call the line quality rhythmic. You don't want to make the sections are equal. We already have that tendency, so we try to correct that. Maybe we make this part shorter. So something like that. And a lot of people just do that. That's okay, maybe it's better to have a turn there. You can have something like that, so it's not tangent, or parallel. Just, create some nice triangular crossing. It's the key of making nice plum blossom. Where's the triangle? Where's the triangle? This is more like a 4. What do you call that? Diamond. Well, a white diamond maybe. So I will just make it like that. So I leave a space there for flowers. You can try to make up a little bit. You can still, even if you know what you're doing, you can still repeat. Who said that you cannot repeat? See, I just did that. You cannot even tell. Just experience. I don't know how to describe, but you have to know exactly how much water on the dry brush. It won't make it to blur, and how quickly you can do that. It just become natural after a certain mileage. You have to practice many times, and then you have to copy, just like people practice a masterpiece of music composition. You don't have to compose yourself at the beginning, right? You have to just learn the basics first. Okay, here's you can still make it this, like crossing all the way here, or now I'm thinking my starting point, just 1 is not enough, so I can make this 2, and then make I use my fingertips to kind of test the water. Sometimes it's better to have 1 branch, main branch, and then 1 supporting branch. So it could be like that. You know, this is the main branch. And I just let this go out. And don't be afraid to break the frame. So you create you lead the people's eye into infinity. And then here is the dark dots. So we have line, we have like a form, shape, and the dots, 3 elements. And we still need a little more branches. We can make it up more, but you know, if we think we need flowers here, maybe we can as soon as I touch that paper, I know the brush is not right, so I stop. I don't want to repeat that. I just keep going, so it's okay, you know. Just stop and then work around it. Maybe forget it. Just do something else. Don't try to fix anything right away. You know, beautiful mistakes sometimes just. I try to look for some lines that guide your eyes to the focal point here. So maybe I just shoot another line, but I try carefully not to repeat this kind of lines. So that'll be okay. Oops, I just washed it like this. You can save that dark. You might need to dot somewhere else. So I use a clean brush. Usually you save one for just the flowers with white. You don't want any ink in that brush. Otherwise it will be hard to clean. You can use soap if it's got ink accidentally. You can use soap to wash it. Okay. You see, I loaded again, double loaded. So all the colors is on the brush already. I don't have to worry about. I just have to think about order. It will start from dark always and become lighter. So my focal point is right here around the birds. All right. So let me do this one first. So this is side view. 2 petals in the center. Maybe another. This is quite dark. You see because the dark less. Too dark, too dry. I got some water. Melt the ink too much. I usually don't do that. I just worried, not to waste time to load the brush. So I wet it. Maybe that's a mistake. So I tend to load too much. Okay, so change directions. Somebody just emailed me in this class how to make the petal round. I never worry about that. I make it square. It will smear. Try to hide the tip. Try to hide the tip. That's the only thing. Tucking the tip like that. You go. So it's like a square, not really round. Don't try to make it. Don't struggle so much. Just take it easy. See, I have this kind of line. This is not round. They're not round. You can make it just square, but the whole shape is round, and that's very important. Better to make the whole flower in the same size, no matter how far or how in the back or the way. You don't want to vary that size. Different. I see people do a little tiny flower here, but it will not. Like that. We do life size, all 3. Life size bird, life size flowers. And see, I just use diluted color for this because this is on the back of the bird. I don't want to gain any attention here. Just you can put some in the back of the branch. So not to paint the branch fly in the sky. Right. My brush is almost exhausted when it's done, so you can see that gradation beautifully from dark to light. I forgot the time. It's already past my. Really? Okay. So let me finish this It's not a little bit difficult. That's why time is so important in public performance. Chinese brush painting is a performance art. People always do this kind of demo or public. In public, you know, we do this in the mall in New Year's Day, you know, to give it to the people. It's called the Hui Chun. I don't know how to translate it. Spring. Writing. Okay, so make sure there's some back, some side, some, you know, behind, some front. I still didn't touch the middle because I want to wait a little bit before you can add the statement with dark rouge plus a little ink, make it deep brown. You don't have to make the polling dots on top of each statement. That's very common, common mistakes. So you can draw a little circle, and don't have to do the pistol. I think circle, the center, and then connect the petals. You don't have to do all directions. It has a perspective. Sometimes you just see a little bit, like, you know, here I suggest there is a back view. And now I dilute the paints. I can just use the same color to dot. This is what we call the large or more, you know, spontaneous. More large 写意 or small 写意. Small means lesser spontaneous style, freestyle, less free maybe. And if you use colors on everything, you know, like you dot the colors with white and yellow, that kind of thing, it will be more into lesser. And you can even combine more detailed, like like bugs, like bees. So that's if you think it's not finished with the painting, you know, there's background, you can add rocks or bamboo. Let's just do some bamboo. So there are many like you make a main dish, you know, you can make some side dish, that kind of. But as long as you know this where to start and where to exit, avoid the center, you'll be good shape. You don't have to worry about the C or S or Z or that. But you know, beginning, developing, turning, and finishing. Maybe here is the finishing, and you know, that's. And the dots, rhythmic dots. I want to add some green bamboo. Just you can see that a little green bamboo makes it more like a green. Is a evergreen bamboo. So you can make the green bamboo downward or towards the. This is springtime. So you know, try to think about the wind, the direction of the wind. So there's structural tendency from towards the left. So you don't have to do the whole bamboo stock, just a suggestion. And then the signature part of the composition, you can do it here or there. There's no certain rule. I think here is better because this energy seems, you know, leaking. Just want to force it back that direction. So I just write here. You know, you just learned this radical birds with the mouth, with singing birds. Singing in the spring, singing in the spring. Okay, and then year of rat, 黑粒, 小灰粒 in Chinese. Okay, I should like get my seal here. I'm also a seal engraving artist. So if you need help, I can help you with that. Translate your name and design a signature with this Victoria, showing you how to write it, and you have the whole set. So calligraphy is a part of the composition, you can see, right? Any comments? Are you still there? Okay.
Yep.
Beautiful, Henry.
Still there.
I think you all fall asleep.
Lovely. We're mesmerized.
We're in trance.
Oh, in France.
Very happy.
Thank you. Yeah, try to, okay, don't forget the tongue. The singing bird has a little tongue. So that's in the middle with a little pink, just diluted pink. See, it's not in the middle. It's near the bottom of the mouth and going up like that. Let me show you. I'll take a picture and post it to the group in our online class after this demo. Okay, now you might ask what it looked like underneath, right? I don't know. That's the, I need to have it. I don't have a knife. I use maybe palette knife, cut it. So without looking at it, oops. Let me cut it. This is a rice paper unsized. My best. I always say this is the most typical paper, in contemporary artists use, professional use for freestyle, flower and birds. You can also do landscape with. You got the interesting painting on this side. I mean, on the this is the back side, but let me see. This is the front. Oh, by the way, the smooth side is the front. You can see it by looking at or touching. The rough side is the back. So this is the front. Oh, maybe I did it on the wrong side. Yeah, that was the wrong side. That was the wrong side. Okay, but so it's not very different, right? So let me repeat this. You can see. You can draw more like a two-stroke. Okay, and then just don't lose that spontaneity or random effect. We call this water stains. Water stains on the leaking house is a very inspiring. Anybody want to talk? Let me see. Should I mute all again? Okay. If you want to talk, unmute yourself. All right. Then just finish this quickly. Just show you the result of this one. So maybe I use a little bit more amber this time. A little green will mute it a little bit. Some red, everything, just nice color. When it's wet enough, it's always nice gray, you know, because most of the color you see in the world, in real world, is gray. So you don't have to make the color pure. That's what I learned from Western artists. I have much better confidence in using colors now after I learned about 2 years in watercolor. So I would just leave it like that. Okay, well, speaking of bamboo, if you look at the painting I showed you earlier in the beginning, and tell me, you know, how many realistic bamboo leaves there. If you know, sometimes in the entire painting on a masterpiece, I only find like one stroke look like a bamboo. The other ones just like a calligraphy, you know. So yeah, line quality and the organizing the negative space is very important than details. You know, like most start new student is more like a one stroke. You have to judge in the whole painting, not just, you know, here are stands, so what? You just make it more interesting. You know, you just leave it like that. I think that's all we're done there. So just be more suggestive. And the calyx is a very challenge. Let me just show you the way to do that. A lot of people can do this. Let me, because you can do this without a flower first, so you can see. I try to show you the back, and you know, just put it around the flower, which will make it more, you know, standing out. And this I put on the side, just create some contrast. If you like, you can make the statement a little bit with yellow, green, mix, like a little ochre with a little brown, that kind of thing. So this would be more subtle, like those cherries. Yeah, the plum is a little bit stronger than cherry blossom. I'm doing a large elephant decoration project with our cherry blossom. I will show you in the future on YouTube. I practice a lot recently, and I went to park to study real blossoms. Tree blossom is really beautiful in this time. Maybe it's already past, but still maybe. New York is getting cold, right? You got snow in your area. Are you cold? Anybody from East Coast?
Sorry?
Yeah.
I heard there's snow.
Yes, from
Yeah,
New
that's
York.
why. Yeah, actually, if I didn't add these petals, it would be a snow-covered, typically, you know, a classical scene, because this flower is the first bloom in spring. They always got snow, so you can cover. You can suggest some you know, some kind of snow around it. Let me just show you if you want to watch the background. You know, it could be the blue sky here, like in California. Or it could be gray sky and make it snow. Or it's too strong. Too much blue there. You can eliminate the strokes by painting wet onto wet. If you wet the painting after the strokes dry, but in landscape, we can wait each layer to dry. But also we use a lot of breaking ink or pulling ink technique. So we don't have to wait it dry. So just let it blend into each other. The good thing is this paper will keep the stroke, even it blurs. You will still see the original calligraphy. So just grade it a little bit. Now I'm cleaning my palette. So in the end, you have no paint left, ideally. That's my thinking. Oops, I think I'm overdoing things, but it says how many masters it takes to make a masterpiece. The answer is 2. One who does the work, one to tell him when to stop. So you are the second. First, stop, Henry. So that's too dark, but you can leave it, or I think there's
Makes
no
the
way
painting interesting, Henry.
Yeah, it would be.
I like the blue.
Yeah, it will be lighter, but just a touch of it is an accident. But people think, oh, it's in the shadow, some flower in the shadow, maybe.
Nice.
No, ice. I was doing the ice. Yeah, icicles, something like that. Thank you. So let me just clean this up. So we add some, warm grays to the painting. But you don't have to do it right now because I know the paper from my experience. If you don't know, just be a little careful. But I know you will not. But sometimes it happens, like this. It blurs. What I do is, you have to know how to manage the water. Okay, see the direction it moves to. If you want to stop it moving this way, you can add some clean water, maybe not too clean, just with a little gray, blue, sky color, and just build a dam, to stop it. And you can even drive it back, so it will start to move up, going to the opposite direction. So if you do both sides, it will keep it stay in place. Just a little bit water management. You'll make a friend with this media, and it's very fun. Don't try to risk. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because beautiful mistakes makes beautiful painting. After it dries, you can add accent, since darks. But now it's time to stop. I'm not going to describe this one. So it's already 1.5 hours. Do you want me to keep doing demos, and then I just give all the time for you to practice? And we do the critique outside the class, maybe in the web on the website.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That sounds perfect.
If I can stay awake, it's 1:30 a.m. in UK.
God bless you.
The eyes are going.
I cut the paper, but okay, let me see where we say. I tried to use a different paper, so you got the feel of the other paper. I'll just use this one. There are 2 kinds of mulberry paper. One is number 2. That was, oh, here, I found it.
Is the mulberry 2 less absorbing?
No, it's this. But sometimes it varies from batch to batch, so I cannot really, because they are not made like this. Yeah, I think maybe sometimes we got more absorbent, sometimes less. But if you like something stuck up, next time it might be different. That's very.
What are you using now?
Okay, I have mulberry number 2, which has long fibers, and mulberry number 3, which is unbleached. It's a little bit yellow if you compare the two, with long fiber bark. Mulberry, yeah. So which one you want? I will use the white one. Or do you want? Yeah.
You paint on the smooth side?
Yes, always with this kind of paper, handmade paper. Yeah. So let me show you this picture. Can you see it from distance? Maybe not. Let me try to. I will change the scene. I set this up. Okay, sorry. I don't know what happens. Oh, I should hide this bamboo. Okay, now you can see it. All right. This is a landscape painting I mounted for exhibition. It's a semi-abstract, I would say. I really cannot tell the rock or tree or something, just the impression. So when I copy masters, I try to copy their heart, the essence of the painting, not just the copy, like each tree or rock. So that's. When I do a modern landscape, I usually try something completely different first on the paper, maybe, early today, let me show you. Okay, early today, I posted some footage of Victoria practicing Tai Chi downstairs. And I tried to maybe make a painting of her Tai Chi movement first, okay? If that works, it will be a figure painting. But if not, a landscape painting. That's the plan. So plan A, plan B, and even plan C, or no plan, just go around. So this is a nice painting. I don't want to pouring ink on it. Pouring ink is usually I do with a failed painting. If I don't like, I just pour ink on it, make it into a landscape. So let's say if I try to. Oh, she has some kind of Tai Chi. I try to make a nice face, look like in Victoria. Okay, and then she was wearing white, but I can make like a one leg, darker. I don't know what she's doing, but maybe standing like a tree. Anybody practice Tai Chi?
I used to.
Yeah, something like that. But I try to do, I'll try to do the details in the face or something like that. Then I, maybe made a blood. Oh, it blurred, something like that. Oh, it doesn't look like Victoria. So what? I can throw it away, or I can just keep practicing Victoria on the rest of the paper, right? So, but you can also turn it into a rock. That's the easiest way to do it, or a mountain, or a tree, or something. Just so I usually start a landscape with something I invested. It could be a landscape painting I did before. I don't know what it is. It's part of a large painting on stage. things like that. So, you know, we can cut part of it and start to. So what we call this is a seeking stone theory. Let me show you what the landscape painting coming from in Chinese painting. Of course, you will have figures, you know, sitting in there. But let me finish the painting before I talk about the theory. I really think we should not talk too much. This is a painting along class, right? So I may have, you know, give another try. Okay, let's do a Victoria doing this move with the leg stretched. Okay, and then just bend it. Okay, and oh, just looking at something like that. And you know, when we shade, we don't make the both legs dark. We make the emphasis like darker, and it balances with that one. And this one is kind of like that. So Tai Chi means black and white, no tan, no dark and light. Tai Chi, you know the Tai Chi symbol, the Tai Chi. So you can't black, white. How do you say that? Just, you know, complement elements, dark and light, against each other. That's Tai Chi, right? Tai Chi fish there. Right. Now, we only have 1 minute, right? I know that. But how long it takes for the water to dry? If I'm going to pour water, it will take a long time. Good. Let's do some magic. I got a specialty water here, and I got some ink. I put in there without blending too much. Ooh, okay, just let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And then just finish that. Oh, I turned Victoria into a scholar, Chinese scholar, maybe with beard. Oh, a Taoist priest with a little hat. Can you still see Victoria there? Well,
No.
I try not to cover everything, but you know, just the idea. Okay, a good landscape or any Chinese painting, it should have all 4 or maybe 6 pairs of elements. As I mentioned, dark and light, okay. Dark and light. And what's the others? The wet and dry. A lot of people start pouring, you know, on dry on wet right away. So wet all the way. When I was in college, I had a teacher in art history, because I was an archaeologist. We have to learn the art history. And I showed him my painting, and he said, you should paint the painting very dry before you pour ink. So I take his advice, and then I always start, you know, with dry scribing brush maybe before I put wet on. So let it have some bones in it, you know. So dark should go first, and dry go first. But you can still add what we call breaking ink, you know, that kind of. Also here is another thing, I think, concentration and disperse. So there's concentration. You have to balance set. Opening and closing, same idea. Balance until it's dispersed. The energy there need to be dispersed. Okay. We have a stone here. I want to show you. Moments ago, I didn't have time. So now we're waiting this to dry. It's already dry. Why? It's not water. I used this, but don't use it at home. I use this for seal engraving. I transfer the design onto the stone. Always, it's a acetone.
Oh.
This is I just use, only use for performance. I don't use it on a daily basis. But you can use water. You can use water. The idea is you use some water, then you drip a little ink. Don't blend it, and just use. Yeah, I will call it pouring water, not pouring ink. Ink maybe just 5%. And then the ink, let the ink flow with the water at the same time. That will create a nice marble effect. See that marble effect? You like it?
Yep.
Yeah. Then you add some vegetation. You can add like we talked about, bamboo, little bamboo, slim bamboo leaves. Okay. The evolution of painting in human history maybe is like this, just like a children's painting to adult painting. The children will do a bamboo like this. Let me just show you the evolution. So they will use pure local colors. Here's bamboo. Here's bamboo. Oh, children, I think they would do it like that, just like that. Maybe one big, one small, and then they would do just like that. Most people I see, they do bamboo like that, and then the leaves would be. Maybe they are good observers. They know the bamboo leaves come from the joints. There's some joints up, go out on all the directions. Maybe I'm not charging, but I try to show you. And they just do this like that. Maybe this is more childish. Okay, and later you'll see this development into a more we call it individual bamboo. This is more like a abstract conceptual, not something you see. So the bamboo you see is the next step. Usually it will be something like it could be not perfect, but more believable, something, and the composition is more sophisticated. But the Chinese scholars, they don't use color, they use ink. So the ink bamboo is the first of literary painting. And a poet, Sudong poet in the Song Dynasty wrote that if you comment on bamboo in terms of like or dislike, or resembling or dissembling, you're thinking like a child. That's why we don't paint bamboo. Just each very like that. So you express the qi, the energy. Okay, here's the thing different from theory. You don't see branches here, right? But here I use calligraphy, so you can write more like a raining style or cursive style calligraphy. You will learn from victorious lesson maybe, and very, the pressure to get this kind of feel. I'm not really concerned with composition, this thing, but just to express the vitality. The highest aesthetic principle for bamboo or any Chinese painting is said to express the vitality through bone stroke. All the principles like a range of negative space, this or that, apply color or that kind of thing. We have 6 principles, but only the top principle is said by a master that could not be taught. So you are born with the vitality, qi, right? It comes from your original qi, your energy. So everybody has their own personality. That part makes the painting your unique. It's like a voice of a singer. You cannot duplicate. Okay. So let's say this landscape painting. If I don't like it, I can make it into even more contemporary landscape. You can just make this part a peak or something, like cover it up or something like that. I'm not going to do too much. So pouring ink with water, with the ink, that's what I try to share. You can use different liquids, maybe with detergent, anything. Maybe oh, we have the peach sap glue. Try that. Also, it will make this kind of edge, like this hard edge. Nice, right? But I don't have to outline that. It's a hard edge. I like that. Yeah. Oh, one thing I haven't found is the. Let me show you that picture. Okay, here's the inspiration from my friend in Nanjing, China. Just collected this stone, and do you see this? I'm sorry, I think. Let me transfer that. Okay, do you see this stone?
Yes.
Okay, great. This is a natural stone. Let me enlarge it. Seeking stone theory is this. You go to a natural mountain and you find something interesting and you make a sculpture of it. And you can see this in Han Dynasty tombstones, like a tiger or horses. They're maybe, just 10% of men carving, 90% natural shape. And we also think, the whole mountain in terms of animal. So it has the energy in it somehow. You see that? Yeah. It has the. So when I see the stone, oh, I see that figure worshiping the stone. This is a famous figure. It's a calligrapher called Mi Fu. He invented the style like medium, the Mi dots. Only technique named after the artist last name, Mi dots. Actually, there's another one, Fu wrinkles. Maybe only 2 of them. That's Mi dots, horizontal dots. It's called Mi Fu. Yeah, that's his style. He used horizontal dots to instead of rounded dots. You combine these dots, you can form a ridge. You can define a edge. So the tree putting on top of the line will actually describe the line under it, the high plane, not always on lower plane. Some above, you put it above the contour that's in front to describe that. So that's because he must got inspiration from nature, and so since him this kind of dots, horizontal dots in Chinese landscape, has his name on it. So that's the story. And I have to check on internet what's exactly the story of worshiping. I will share that translation when I find. But basically, this stone is entitled Master Ni Worshipping the Stone. It's a nice, for whatever reason, that's his source of inspiration. I think.
That's all a natural shape in the stone?
Yes, natural shape and the pattern of the dark. You can see this in siltstones I carved. I use. It's not polished, but maybe they have. I don't know if they polished it. Maybe it could be passed down from generations. There's some shininess on it. Yeah, that's what we have a kind of stone. Actually, I bought this one here in the States. It's an American stone. You know what stone is this?
I don't know.
Yeah, anyway, it's a kind of water formed. See this side. So yeah, try to.
I don't know. Wow.
Like I got from street fair in Pomona.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Maybe Jasper?
I don't know the name of it. So
looks like a drawing.
Yeah, all inspiration is from you can find inspiration like the shape of this rock from the sky, the white cloud, like a towering clouds after rain. I always see this kind of. This is called the. We have a name for this, like it's not mushroom shape, and we call it the 云头, the crown of clouds.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the inspiration. And there are many other inspirations. I think they're like a warm trace in the old book or something like that.
Cumulus.
Yeah. Mi, that's his name. Mi. I think people think he is he's a madman. Dian. Maybe he called himself mad me. He talks to the stone like that all the time. Bei means worshipping stone. This means crazy. Oh, you cannot see it. Can you see it? Huh?
Yeah.
Crazy me, worshipping the stone. Okay, let me put his eye there. This is my older pad. So when you have an old ink pad, you need to dab many times. Not just dip one time because it was old. Yeah, do you see this beautiful stone has the same kind of pattern?
Yeah.
Beautiful, yeah. They're all inspiring. That's why we use them as a seal stone or paperweight, that kind of utensils. All right. And, oh, you see, this is not dark enough. That's why I have a new one. but it's okay. Just see. Let me. You can see it already. That's my. I didn't really make it in the landscape. You can create some horizon maybe in the distance, but tell me when to start. So I don't use any color, but I think maybe we should add a little bit gray. Just I use Western approach. Just add a line for the horizon, maybe something like that. That would be. You can add shadows. That would be too much, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your response. Tell me when to start.
We're all mesmerized. We're just watching.
Maybe just ground it a little bit. Yeah, just ground that. So I mainly think about the alternation of dark and the light. I don't really worry about the lighting source, but I got some greens here. Make it lighter.
Uh-huh. Nice.
Henry, one question, please. The picture you have behind you was done with the same technique?
No, that's let me share it with you a little bit, maybe on that. So I just use my finger stamp this. I just accidentally attached that yellow here, so maybe just a little more. But if you think something nice, you tend to overdo it. That's one to start. So if you want to learn that, I was broadcasting the lesson right before this meeting. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's lesson 19. And if you open an account today, you can see I have intensive notes taking because we met this artist who is after Fubashi. We call it New Fubashi because the method he used is like I described from dry to wet, wet into dry brush stroke. But before it gets too dry, so you will start from dark. You can do a tree or something with pure ink. No worry about light, but you will see what happens. So if I do a pine tree like that with all dark, that's my foreground.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you can draw some barks and something like that, and then just do some rock. Okay, and just use a split brush. See, this is pushing. This is pouring, pushing. Yeah, to push the brush, make it. Use the. This is basic brush. You can use even stiffer brush like.
And it's pretty dry. It's pretty.
Yeah, let it split. Mm-hmm. Just the way you use the brush. Any good brush, even the soft brush can do this. Fast, and then just dabbing like that. Okay. So that's. You have to do it in a fast speech, so you get this effect. Besides, you don't have much time until this it's too late, to put the next layer. So you add it with the same brush actually, but with just the water, maybe a little bit ink, just
real dry.
Yeah. This time it will be very wet, believe it or not, and much more water than you think. Let me just show you how it works. So this is the idea. You build the stroke with dry brush texture, right? The texture, Then you introduce water to make it blurry a little bit. So it's a balance between wet and dry. Okay, don't be afraid to do this. But this is how we do it. We control the direction. If I don't want the ink to go into the sky, I do this side first. Block it with lots of water. See a pool of water there. If you can see the shininess. See that? Yeah, you can see that, right? That's how much water it is. That's just clean water. It could be a distant mountain, very light ink. No matter what, you get lots of moisture there. That blocks that line. And then you use dry brush, the same brush you did with this. Just lead it. Just create some channel. So this water will gradually turn the dark ink into something very subtle, very misty. This is how he does it. And it's a little bit different than Fubashi, the original master, who waited to dry and then wash with then wet the paper again and then wash it with like here with a wet brush. Now you can just do it in the same before the ink gets dry. You have to avoid touching some hard edge if you want to keep. So I leave it. This paper is the semi-size, kind of, yeah. So it's not going to bleed. That's the beauty of the mobile paper, and it's very tough. I can even put it, if something wrong, I can put it in the sink and then just rinse it off.
Wow.
See, I use dry brush to create more like a detail thing in the foreground. And you can do some wet into wet just to blend in a little bit. And you can wet into wet here to get some distance. I want to keep that skyline looks good. So I want, if the water looks good, you can add a little water, a little ink to give it a tone. Otherwise, it will disappear completely. Yeah. We don't do the sky in Chinese painting, but you can just add a little suggestion of the horizon, something like that.
Henry, to create the mist, you can use also the rooster brush
rooster brush, any brush, even utensil like a barbecue brush. I see people using barbecue brush to do watercolor trees. So what? Yeah, same idea. But the master Fubashi, he used Fubashi used mountain horse brush. It's a stiff brush. Oh, it should be horizontal. I'm sorry. It's better to paint maybe upside down. You can see it. I leave a little white here, just like watercolor. You can eliminate more like it. But I have to leave some white. We don't use white. Just same as a watercolor. So everything is like that. But you can make the foot of the mountain more wet into wet, more misty. The mist and the clouds is is different in real scenery. By definition, I will say mist is form or shapeless. It's in the tree or rock. The moisture just suggests that. I don't really paint mist here. I do leave the definitive clouds there. That's white clouds. All right. So that's clouds sea. And so clouds is in the distance. When you are in the clouds, that's mist. No shape. It's just in the tree. You can just feel it. It's like a just of clouds, or fog and mist in the foreground or middle ground, and then the horizon could be more clear with white clouds, or in the distance it could be more details. So this is the idea. So you see the ink become gray instead of dark. That I use no gradation. I didn't double load. I just use pure ink on this layer, a little lighter there, and then the rest. If you load the ink with properly, you don't have to reload. We call this one stroke. Give it a one stroke feel. You start very clearly where the focus is. That's darkest. Then keep it grading down little by little until you reach the infinity. That creates aerial perspective. I try to use the Western terminology, but yeah. Also, the same tone on this paper can create different depths or values. If you let absorb more, the same same ink tone become darker, and the dry brush become lighter. Is Hayes around? Hayes.
Do you lay water down and then lay a darker color to let it bleed into it a lot for your mist effect?
Okay, let me. Okay, I think that's a.
Do a lot of bleeding.
Okay, so you're talking about put the water down and then add ink into wet, right? That will that is the problem when all the dark on wet, there's no bone in it. I talked about the bone, right? The structure. Yeah. So you have like in lesson 19, we create structure with a dry brush. So like a lotus leaf, for example. So this is lotus leaf to start with. You just draw with a very dry brush like that. And then you add water to make it wet. That you can apply this to anything. Just like that. So this is the dry. And in the first, like before I was advised by my professor in art history class, I was always doing something like that. So I will watch the paper. But if I do that, I'll do it, not the whole painting. So I will let the paints go with the water. When the water is still alive, we do that. So when the water is still moving, you can you would have more. So the paper is not completely soaked. Otherwise, the ink tends to flatten. No.
Right.
Yeah, no variation. So. And the little bits pockets of white is what makes this technique more attractive. So if you have this without that, you can imagine it's just like too smooshy, right?
Yeah.
You cannot add to it. Like when it's wet, you cannot. That's a more distant layer. So this is soft and hard. That's hard and soft.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the different effect.
Okay.
Yeah. So remember, you can add lots of water outside around it, and then use this original brush, just drag it, lead it, and after just go for breakfast or some not breakfast, dinner or some. We went dinner after we come back to fix that. So it takes half an hour to let the media do the walk for you.
Okay.
Let the water do the walk for you. Yeah.
Right.
So the stiffness will all disappear when you have that reservoir of water coming in. Right. Sometimes you'll see the trunk of the tree become like hard-edged with the gray in the middle, something like that. Sometimes it's accidental, but we try to control the accidents. We try to control expected accidents.
Gotcha.
All right, what's time? We have 40 minutes. I mean, no, 50 minutes. Okay, do you want some individual help? Somebody, so you can, or what other questions you might have? Maybe you can just share here.
Problem.
Okay. Yeah, just take a break and then do your work. If you post anything on the website, I'll take a 10 minutes break and then come back. We'll talk about what to do.
Good.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Let me take a picture and post it to the site.
Like a chrysanthemum.
Yeah, I think this one has to be dry. I'll take a picture here. You can still see them. Oops, I got some extra stuff there. I'm gonna take a pictures of these demos and show this to you. And should I take this picture? I tried to simulate some common common bamboo I see. You can find them on internet. I will call it a lucky bamboo. Anyway, lucky bamboo scholars.
Irish bamboo.
What's that?
Irish bamboo.
Oh, Irish.
Lucky green.
Lucky green. Oh, Irish. I see. Lucky bamboo. Oh, yeah. Actually, lucky bamboo you can see in it's marketed. I think there's an official name. They come from Africa actually.
Ooh.
They grow water cultured in vase, and they sell in Oriental stores in this country. Called it lucky bamboo. Lucky bamboo.
I love how you changed that whole composition on the left side.
Oh, should I add a little green to this top? Just test. Trying to add a little suggestion of it, maybe trunk. Going through that. So lost and found always create depths.
Mm-hmm. It's like a wave of energy. It's really you have so much movement in your work. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, we got the person, two persons energy hidden there. So Tai Chi, it's like a sculpture.
Right.
It's like a lot of movement to simulate natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
So, if you're interested, we will do a Tai Chi figure drawing class maybe Bill will be our guest host.
Mm-hmm.
I wish. This is still too wet, but on this wet paper, I mean on this black paper, now you can see better on this white background.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very important to have dry, wet, light, dark. Also, the third pair is concentration disperse, or grouping and separate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just developed this. My English is improving because I learned so much of this kind of thing in Western painting, believe it or not.
It's good.
I know how to say it in Chinese. 浓淡干湿疏密. Anybody speak Chinese? Get it? No?
Not here. No.
No, nobody.
Sorry.
No tan is Japanese, means dark and light. No tan. And I think Kayo is there. She knows no tan, right? 浓淡 means no tan.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. She
Just
got it.
good contrast. Saving the white in those certain spots is so important. It just brings it, keeps it to life. All the white you save in there.
Some master watercolors call this the pearl white. Pearl white.
Yeah.
Like little pearls, right? Pearls, like little beads.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. That can only be done on dry paper. So don't wet the paper.
Okay, right.
Wet it afterwards. Leave the white. Yeah, you have to use the right paper. If the other paper I used may not work.
What is that paper you're using there?
This is Mulberry number 3, Duhan Arts.
Do you sell that?
Yes, Mulberry number 3 is unbleached. Actually, it has a little. Let me put it together with number. Yeah, this one is white. See, this one is white. This one has a like this tan color to it. Yeah. So this is the number 3 is unbleached.
Is it very fibrous or is it?
Yeah, yes, it is, but it's not very coarse. Like it's so shiny. On the smooth side. On this side, maybe coarse. You can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Could you tell us where we can go to see the pictures you took of the pieces you just?
Yeah, I'm going to post it to the class.
And how do we find that?
You can. I will send you the link.
Oh, okay. We can't see it right now. It's for later.
I already posted the link in the beginning of the session. Before it officially starts, I already did that. Yeah. Let me see. How do I do this?
Henry, do you mind also telling us what brush you like to do that stapling, the bristle?
Oh, okay. There's a stippling brush.
Yeah.
I don't have any pen. Maybe I have something similar. Yeah, I have something similar, but I have downstairs this kind of brush. You can get a stippling brush. You don't have to cut the old brush, new brush. It comes with like a no tip stippling brush. Yeah, we have a brush exactly like that, different handle, different badge.
Okay.
So, let me show you.
Was that what you were using earlier?
I used just the 3 basic wolf hair, the basic one of the 3 basic wolf hair brush. But you may ruin it soon if you do this.
Okay. Oh, so you can do it a little bit on the side. You don't.
Yeah, any brush you don't mind to ruin it.
Okay.
You can use, but this one is very stiff. It's a beige hair, so you get the football shirt stippling. We just call it stippling brush.
Okay.
Yeah, that is designed for, so you don't have to worry, ruin your good brush.
For the mulberry number 2, some people asked the fiber. If you put on the dark background, you can see some stringing looking. Yeah, that's called number 2.
Okay.
Number 1, more fine. Number 2, with lots of stringing looking fiber. Some people like it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's dark background.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Can you see this one? The second one underneath. Yeah, that's the one I washed the sky. And I have to mount it to show the color, the true color of this. But now it's kind of pale, so, right? But the blue is okay. That kind of, yeah. It could be something.
Oh, makes me want to go outside.
Henry?
Yes.
How do you decide where to put the calligraphy and the seal?
Okay, here's another thing we need to do. We can think about together. What I suggest is you use the seal on a scrap paper, and then you place it to test. Okay, you can put it on maybe on a piece of card. We have the business card kind of. You can. Let me just. I have to tear this. So just make it big enough for the seal. Oh, I got 2 cards. And then you put your signature on it also. Oops, I got it upside down. Fortunately, I have another backup. So instead of putting it on the on the painting, then you cannot lift it. I just put it on a piece of paper. You can cut it. I'll just tear it. Okay. Now you can try, to see how it look like. Like here, you can sign in English, maybe under it, Henry or something like that. Or you can do it on this corner. It's just a red spot, but it's very heavy in composition. It's a very strong energy with that. Some said, never put it in the empty corner. I mean, with large, you make that feel more empty. I don't know. It's just very personal thing. It depends on how you sign too. If you sign very short or small, maybe I'll just hide it here, or even you could do it here. There's no rule, but don't do it right there. I see a lot of people do that. But, it's not any rule could be broken, but just to you like a bird singing towards you. It's like
right.
Unless you want to make yourself look like a little sun. That's a little sunshine. My little sunshine. Like that.
You are my sunshine.
You are my sunshine. Yeah.
Right.
This would be this would be against the direction. I mean, it might be okay here, maybe because this signatures are usually not on the top, but sometimes it could. If anything else, anywhere else not appropriate, you can still do that. Just don't do it like that, right?
No.
Yeah, I cannot tell why it's not good, but you just you might say, oh, in the ancient picture I see in museum, you always do that. And that's emperor. Are you the emperor? With all the famous collector, you will increase the value of the painting. That's collector's seal. They put all over. Right.
There's no rule. You just do wherever you feel.
let me see. I outsign just a short, instead of writing the long one I had earlier. I just write a short one, so you can maybe you can put it on the same piece of paper, and then you'll see. You can even try on the left or right. It's also possible. So if this is my signature, okay, the signature should be about could be smaller or larger, but about the same size as the painting. So you can put it on the side like that. Then you can move this. Yeah, but this is the same line, huh? If you have two seals or three, I think that you can have a large. Let me do it for you.
I just want to produce something where I feel like it's worthy of putting my name on it.
Okay, we have lots of seals to choose from. Let me see which one will be on this one. I'll just show you how all my choices here. This is only partial of my seal over the years. Some mark an event, some like a group meeting, coincident party that we had 10 years ago with the online class. I carved that. And this is my 50th birthday seal, no longer useful. Now I'm 60.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have seals as after 50s. I'm still after 50s. I should carve one after 60s.
Do you mind telling us about the seals themselves, like what they represent? I mean, it's not just your signature, it says more.
Yeah, there's name seals and place seals with your personal background. I have seal I carved very early, like this one. And not me, actually my classmates did it on the one of my birthday maybe. This says 古月, the ancient Yue state, which is among the 7th warning state in the period called the warning state before the unification of China. Okay. My country, my father's hometown is Yue, so I have that.
Oh.
Let me show you this one. This is I haven't used this for a long time, but just to
maybe you should
refresh my memory. I'll use this. And this is an ancient script. When my archaeology classmate did this in 1980s. My 20th birthday, 2021. Yeah. One of my favorites seal here. So I put this corner seal. We call it balance foot seal, also, one of the corners, not both. You can put.
What did you put underneath there? What is that? Just
okay.
something.
Yeah, maybe you think this would be better, or this one?
I like it on the right.
You like it on the right?
Where you have it. I like where you have it.
Yeah, you will keep the diagonal instead of crossing like an X, right? Yeah, you got it. So it has to do with movement, energy, balance. If you have 3 seals, it forms a triangle. People will immediately link them into a triangle. But that should be very.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's the ancient Yue state. That's my. It's in Zhejiang province, east of Shanghai, not very far from my birthplace, my father's birthplace. Yeah. But we call it a clan home, something like that, and it's it goes with everybody's file, residence or ID. Yeah, and everybody knows that. In China, family link, clan, so used to be very important. They speak different dialects, but now they speak Mandarin everywhere. So I will maybe have to write here, right? So it goes along that line, that diagonal.
Right.
That's a turning point. So you have to, if you could, last time on Zoom, I talked about, you have to kind of change direction, not just go along that line.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just write the year of the rat. Oops.
Henry,
Yeah.
if we don't have a Chinese name, how can I make our signature in Chinese?
Okay, I'll show you in 1 minute. That's a very good question. Okay, I will answer it in 1 minute. Let me finish this. That's very good. I was planned to talk about that. Thank you for reminding me. Let me show you this. This is my. See, when it gets too dry, or even when it's so wet, just blow some air. Can you see my small picture?
Yep.
That helps to make it better.
Bring it back to life.
Yeah. To make it. You see, this is more grainless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. To talk about this English signature in Chinese form, right? Let me get some scrap paper. Let me move this here. Oh, you can still see them. That's good. I'm glad you can see all my seals. I cannot carry them around when I go to places. This is the paper I use for practice calligraphy. Okay. Okay. Here's the answer. You can just you can use red to make a Egon Schiele. He died in the last pandemic. Egon Schiele. Do you know that European artist? He always signed his name in a square.
Schiller? Oh no.
Egon Schiele.
No, but
Austria artist. Egon.
How old was he?
He died in his 30s. In 1918 pandemic.
Oh.
Yeah. Echo.
Echo. There's a Schiller Street in Chicago. I wonder if it's after him.
Yeah, I saw an exhibition in New York Metropolitan Museum about 20 years ago.
A block away is Goethe. So
yeah, he always signed his name. I don't know how he signed it. Maybe something like maybe you can put initials or maybe yes. Yes or something. Yeah. It's not like that. I'm Chinese. You can do something. Okay, here's the thing. You already learned birds, right? Let me write a Chinese character. See if you can recognize that.
It's your blue heron.
Got it?
Yeah.
And check the artist, Xu Bing. He has dictionary of this kind of characters. This is mine, but he will write it in square. Like art. He will write. Yeah, just check this name on internet. You see, he writes English spell in.
Yeah.
A would be like that, right?
Yeah.
R, you know that R.
But like a Chinese.
Yeah. This is art. Let's just come up.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can. Oh, someone mentioned like Wu Guanzhong. He does a lot of buildings like that. This is a very calligraphic Chinese village. Yeah, this is almost like calligraphy. Then you use light ink to wash the walls. That's the bridge, something like that. Anyway, just instantly, you know, this is how useful the calligraphy, but you have to learn to do the shape like that. I was in the calligraphy, watercolor class, and in the last touch I had was this like, oh, my teacher said, wow, you can just do that in one stroke. Yeah, that's how I practice. So you can do a roof like just like one stroke, no matter what shape you want to. You can just get in one stroke. That's the advantage of this brush. Okay. Other questions or more demos? Let me move this. Let me take some picture and I'll post it after the class. I can post it on social network, my Facebook. Maybe not every picture, but the good ones, maybe. I need to take a picture of these. This finished painting with seal on it. It would look better with a mounting. I can teach you mounting if needed when you have something worth mounting. Yeah. That's the second one. I see a little bit like a pink in the sky, but they look like a distant branches. Yeah, just accident, happy accident. And you can still add a little white colorings with a little white and yellow, and a little touch of ochre. Just make it more little detail. So when I thought I don't really match each little lines, I just give it a rhythmic. Just keep it round. That has to be round. The pedal don't have to be very round. Yeah. Okay. And I'll maybe check. To answer your question about signature, yeah, check the. You can use your initials, or you can just write English with a brush, in horizontal way. That should also work.
Henry, are you familiar with an artist called Wu Guangzhong?
Yeah, Wu Guangzhong. That's what. Did you send me the picture?
No.
No. Oh,
but I have a book. I have a
question.
book.
I was prepared to copy his. Oh, by the way, this Panther I did the last Zoom, but my recording didn't work. I hope this time you should work. Should I stop and then record? I'm still recording. That's good.
That's beautiful. Did you do that? Wow.
That Panther, yeah. This panda is some student one. I did that in the last. Okay, this is the Wu Guangzhong's.
Yeah.
Enlarge that. Let's see. I just want the top one.
I have a book of his. I think I bought it in Hong Kong back in the early 90s.
Yeah, and he spent a lot of time in Hong Kong.
It's beautiful.
In Hong Kong. Let's see how can. Okay, can you see it now? Yeah, that's the auction piece. Yeah, that's what the roof I talked about with this. So I can show you this one quickly.
Yeah, what you were doing reminded me of his work.
Yeah, he used this rice paper. I just used rice paper. What about semi-size? We haven't tried semi-size, so I will give it a try. This is semi-size. And you can see how I just fold it instead of cutting it. So you can see how much it goes through. I have to make sure this is the right side this time. So this is smooth side. Semi-sized is less absorbent. Okay.
Mhm.
I just change the orientation, doesn't matter. I'll just show you the steps. Okay. So I think he would do the dark first in Chinese way, but I'm not sure. He should have this sketch. I think this is a more serious kind of thing. So I will do at least I want to get the perspective correct.
Do you yourself do very many imaginary landscapes or?
Yeah, I basically did all imaginary landscape before I go out to paint with a group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now we do virtual plein air with an instructor who can still go out and we cannot go in. So we paint at home with the weather condition, whatever he got. So that's very interesting to paint what we see. Yeah, this is more like a abstraction of the Jiangnan, Jiangnan, the Yangtze River. So I try to get the heart, or not the traces of this painting. So I try to, yeah, you know, from this little pencil sketch, I already went through the whole process. I'm thinking, you know, where to leave the. I think the windows is like eyes. So you have to be very careful. Where
Yeah,
to
you're right.
That's very. So you need to get some perspective lines going, something. But you know, nothing will be just a process. In landscape, I will do this, but not even birds. You know, I try to, because landscape has more like a portrait kind of painting. You have to really paint something look like the place you're doing. So let me just do the dark first. So I'll just make a pattern. So that's the advantage of it. You see, I can leave it so long without worry about bleeding.
Yeah.
But the disadvantage is not dark enough. I go back. I just go back and forth. Yeah.
At the top.
Yeah, and then okay, this is how you practice your squares. You may use a square brush. That's what he used. I think he's a Western painter, oil painter to begin with.
Oh, really? More like a watercolor brush.
He's trained in France. Okay. I try not to lift the brush, so it's still considered one stroke. Try to fill in that diamond. I don't know how to do it. I cannot get it. Maybe I just do it and fill in the blanks. That's,
right.
Yeah.
You can create your own.
Yeah. Okay. This actually is a roof, little eave above the door here. That has to be clear. I can make that a little bigger, otherwise doesn't proportion.
Harry, I do not understand very well. You are using a watercolor paper for this?
Good question. Yeah, almost like that. It's a semi-size, but it's 80%. It's a little over half. Over half for sure. I think every time we got different. We were very sorry if you think it's different from your last time. You know,
I didn't
but
mean
somebody like it. Well, yeah.
I didn't mean to take everyone away from the.
Yeah. No. Okay. This is a challenge. I think I should not really go to. So let's make sure this goes here. This is the side of that building goes behind. And this is a roof, like the under side of that roof. Okay, that goes. It's just like writing, you know. No.
Yeah, I mean, the way you do it, you could just create it probably out of your head and just do.
I'm following the master's copy, as you see here on the on the other side. So let me just, okay, here's the thing you need to remember. Don't complete the shape of the windows like that. You just do an L or the upside down, like you can vary this. So maybe you have one more completed than the other, but never put all the windows like a, you see the 4 windows on that side. I don't have room to show you, but none of them are the same, right? There's a little. So just do the shady part, which is dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, just maybe like that. So I think he has an idea where the light coming from. I cannot really tell. I see only black and white pattern. Because we already have a complete painting, so I can start from anywhere. But he might start from light. Yeah, I think maybe because you can always cover the light lines. It just, for me, I'm appeared to something idea, just do that first. So you can start from dark in watercolor too, right? If you know, I think that it looks like the light from the left. So this side is dark.
Well, the bridge, underneath the bridge is dark, so it looks like it's,
yeah, from the left.
On the left side. Yeah.
Okay, let me start to draw this walls, and you can tell it has something like that supporting that roof. This is just the door. This is a birth decoration on some wall, like this, like Chinese garden. You can find this kind of building in Huntington Library here locally, I think. So just big shapes, nothing fuzzy. A lot of people doing all this, details and architecture details. You don't need to just concern with the 6 elements that we mentioned: the light, dark, wet, dry, contrast. And here the line, this should break the horizon. I'm not sure. I have to add another layer. Maybe it just vary a little bit, something like that, and it goes down like a street. So we have street there. This is like a tall building. It's not just village. This is like contemporary apartments.
I know.
I don't like that. Maybe just okay. But still they have this entrance with the traditional decoration roof. Okay, roof. Okay, let me just do a distant. There would be a tree, and this is closer to the viewer. Okay, that's about it. Then we'll do the bridge. Because the focal point is on the roof, maybe here, there, or even, yeah, this is light. So everything else is light. So we should have started from here. Yeah, that's the focal point. And we can add something to that.
Yeah, the black in there is so accentuated.
Yeah, I like the black white no 10 sketch before watercolor. Usually I do better. If I have time, I like to share something with you. Maybe sometime when I get more quality, I will do Western style or Eastern style watercolor. So that's what I.
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, then you can draw this. There should be little figures, maybe the bridge steps, and there must be some like balcony. But I mean, like the little fence. I think it's not really important. They're not going to. I mean, this could be bigger, maybe to include that line, like the. That's stone bridge. Oh, there should be a light side. I missed it. The plan change. They call it plan change. Everything's new to me, but
You got it.
I got it.
No, that's good. that looks, you just bring things to life.
Thank you. So how to do the bridge? Just suggestively, just, I mean, the bricks.
Yep.
Just remember the grouping and separation, grouping together, separation. We call that in Western painting difference. What's difference? We have a bowl of cherries. Then we have one singled out, standing out. That's difference. That's contrast also. So everything along that line will help the composition. And so here is the open window. We only have space like a French window. We only have half.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay. No, you don't want to create tangent. That's a new English word I learned. Tangent. Tangent means like a shape, like lines, like right cut off somewhere, like yeah. So here is. Let me look at my bigger picture here. The willow tree, very Chinese. Okay, you have to use that brush. Yeah, you can use this small brush. Comes with a red whisker brush. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, I just use this basic. Let's stay with basic 3. This is good enough. It's similar to this whisker brush. It's not made of whisker of animal, but it's just description. When I do willow tree, I think about that. You just it makes life easier. Just skipping. It's easier to turn like that, and you have to worry about if you practice orchid leaves. Something we do have a class on willow. It has a group of 4. He said the traditional brush stroke is nothing, but I think he already practiced at home before he does this. I can even do this. He said traditional. He has a theory that the brush, because in late imperial China they stopped learning from natural. They just copied. That's why he said the brush was nothing. Brushwork was nothing. That's his famous quote. Oh. So but he does. But meanwhile he says the line in his painting is like the kite. So you can fly as high as you want, as far away from tradition, but still have the line that draws it background to make it Chinese. Yeah, that's what he says. 风筝不断线 means don't break the line of a kite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so he means he can go as far as he like without giving up the.
You could read a lot into that. Don't break the line of a kite. That's wonderful.
Yeah. don't break the line of the kite.
Right.
So this little figures we just start some they call it carrots or something like that. We just start some again rhythm, the sparse and dense, we say that in Chinese. I'm going to use this leftover brush. You can see it's almost like watercolor. So don't blend it in a palette. So some part is more green, some yellow. That's best. So I just use all part of the brush. Then you go gradually to greener in Western painting, I would expect, but he doesn't do that. Maybe just I added a little blue there.
People asked if you use acetone on the paper or it caused the paper brittle.
Say it again in Chinese.
The acetone.
Acetone.
On the paper. Yeah, some people asked will it make the paper
No, I use acetone.
Brittle.
Acetone. The question I got in email or chat, right? I didn't have time to because it's just blocked view here. Okay, the acetone is introduced by printmaking class in Amy's, my daughter's class in college, art school. So they use this on paper, printmaking.
Oh.
So it will not break the paper, but it will destroy the pens on your table. So be careful. Put a lot of protection. Otherwise, it would. My ping pong table got big spots with acetone. Just got paints off right away. Yeah, it's a paint remover, nail polish remover. You see what that means?
Yes.
So I want to get some gray for the wall, even though I have ink. Maybe I just make a gray with these two complementaries. It will be more Western. Just a little blue, a little amber. Okay, I agree. A little ink still, and a lot of water. Just oh, that's for. I'm thinking to add. Okay, for the water we can add some more blue and also on the mountain. So I just touch a little. You cannot see my. Do you want to see the sample or just you can? I just move this. Maybe close this window so you can see my loading.
Oh.
Okay. Let me see. Okay, now you can see. All right, I'm going to wash the background. Let me just do this first. See, my pens has all the shading there. I don't have the sample. I cannot see the master. Oh, I have it locally, so here. And just use some ink to do this. Oh, actually, there's shadow. Yeah, you see, we don't do shadow in Chinese, traditional Chinese. That's very Western here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, this is very Western. The reflection. Right. We do have like a, but they don't understand the science of that. It's very childish if they do that. So yeah, this is the reflection of this part. Okay, then I have to bring the river to the other side of the. I should don't just go like that. Just a few strokes. Try to keep it calligraphic. And then if you can get some ground color, maybe a little bit yellow, a little amber. I think that's about it. Yeah, you can do it after the figure after the times. Yeah.
Thanks for doing that. I didn't want to pull you away from anything else you wanted to do. I just pulled that book out I had and wondered.
Oh. You see this painting there? It's a auction piece. Somebody must
nice.
Private auction. Let me see. Okay, there's some plum blossom or peach blossom there, and some color, warm color there. I think we have to shade this part with something there. Okay, here's a cool color. So cool and cold in Western painting is crucial. So this is the shady part, cool, it has some warmth in it. So when I do this, I have cool and cold on the same load. Yeah, it would be easier for me just to do it one stroke. I don't overlay them like the watercolors. I just do that. This is very watercolorish. Yeah, this, sure. There's some pink there, I think, and then some tree blossom. I just dot it. I just wet into wet. Okay.
Nice.
The background, yeah, because you have to dilute it with less saturation. Saturation is a Western word. Less color.
Right.
And this part, it should be warm, but let's make some purplish. There should be shadow there. I'll add some shadow. My watercolor class, like that. Shadow, big shadow.
Yeah.
This shadow. Okay. And this actually could be shadow. That's big shadow. Let's do that. Just talking.
Yeah.
Okay, then this. Oh, I'm getting too Western, I think. Okay, the beauty of this paper is you can blot it. Just use this piece. You can blot it away. You go.
Oh yeah.
Away. Yeah. Just like a watercolor paper, you know, you can blot it. It's not going to absorb it. Yeah, it's nice.
That's really nice, though. That's wonderful.
So you can change things on this semi-size, very forgiving paper. So you can just paint like a watercolor. But you also have this kind of softness with the Chinese handmade paper. So you just dish out. Okay, this the tall buildings.
Nice.
But I don't know what the things are now. So,
I like how you brought in the greens and blue there.
Yeah, I need to make spheres. You know, trees are spheres, not because Western painting is very advanced. Like I described with the bamboo. So when they see bamboo, they don't see bamboo groups like we, you know, the second stage we developed. From individual leaves, we see groups, right? But in the Western eyes, bamboo becomes shapes, like triangle shapes, and the whole cluster, not individual at all. No individual leaves at all. And then you can just put a little on the edge, a little edge to define I think we could just do so no blue sky in China. You know that, what I mean. Okay, so here is the thing. I have to make sure this is in the right height with this roof. Right? So I'll just do that. You see, I can also use Gombi technique. Oh, sorry, I didn't mention Gombi at all today. I was requested to, you know, do some demo of Gombi.
On your next
in that area. This is how we do the mountains in Gombi. You use two brushes, one with pure water and one with colors. So you do this.
Oh.
This is like for the color. You just put it on the side. And this one brush is too wet, see? Yeah. So I have to dry it. So it's not too wet. So this is to create gradation on this paper.
Okay. Oh, nice. Yeah.
So yeah, you see that definition.
Yeah.
And, you don't. Here I try to do it in 写意 or the on unsize paper. I can do that because it will keep the gradation better. But on this paper, it tends to flat like a watercolor paper. It will go flat. So to create, we call it separate wash with two brush. Yeah.
Okay.
I just got a happy dot there.
Okay.
I have to add another layer there so I can leave some space, maybe something like that. So I can maybe pour that down gradually
Okay.
to create some kind of mist.
Okay. Nice.
That's the idea. So
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can,
And then you get it. Yeah.
we can have some trees in the background with more green.
Mm-hmm.
With the sky colors. Let's do that. But there's still sphere. You have to tuck in the dark underneath it.
Oh yeah, nice.
You have to make sure some dark.
Oh, see, you see things. Oh.
Yeah, that's the idea of Western painting. You see shadows, and you have to find the cast shadows. But here under the roof, and there's some warm there. Some warm shadows under the roof would be nice there, but it's kind of too much. We block that away.
Mm.
Okay.
That's so
Yeah.
nice.
And you can see the dark is not because this paper does not keep the gradation of my loading that much. So you have to apply multiple colors to get that depth.
So it becomes a little bit more of a watercolor.
Yeah, it takes 9 layers to Gombi. Yeah, it has a little bit. I think he did on the raw paper, so it has something between strokes, which I don't have, but all blurred into one big mass. But on the original, when I do 2 strokes, it keeps separated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of raw paper or unsized paper. So you know this is semi-sized, and there's completely sized paper, not absorbent at all. So you need to.
Well, this is where I would lose it. I would overwork it, and you don't want to overwork it in my head. So you have to be really careful at this point, to me.
I see. This is when you need to worry about accenting and edges.
Yeah, and not overworking it.
Yeah, I think it's time to add a little bit sharp, like a fine line calligraphy. You could have this in the beginning, but I didn't have that. You can do a sketch with that kind of thing, but now I reinstate some of that, and maybe let me see. I can do a little line here.
Oh, it's so nice.
Okay. And you can make sure this is dark in the shadow.
Yeah.
And this is shadow. So just exaggerate. And, okay. So watercolor dries lighter. So you have to repeat sometimes if you're not experienced. But it's a good idea to change the temperature as well. So you get little depths, different warmth or coldness. So they should be colder. I think he doesn't worry about that. But he's very good on realistic painting to begin with, just like Picasso. So any training you have will help to make your painting look unique to the person. So any experience. Here I have a big space, bigger. I think maybe we should make it a little smaller, just under it.
Oh, God.
Try to don't overwork it. Just a hint of the arch. I think I missed the perspective maybe a little bit. That's a reflective light.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Okay, I need to do the dots for the figures now. So we just add some contrast color next to each other. Be sure we got some pink going. I don't really look at the individuals. I just look at the whole rhythm. So some blues for sure for the eyes.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. And some greens. just some yellows, maybe.
Okay.
Some ochre. We have some new colors. Since I learned watercolors, I realized that Maurice, the Chinese traditional color making company, making all the Western colors like ultramarines,
Right.
and those colors. So we carry them now on our website.
Well, is that a wrong thing to do when you're doing a Chinese painting? Is it wrong to?
No, you can see that my Western teacher used this.
Yeah.
It's a watercolor class as well. So it's just the medium. That's what he says. Robert Sherrill, his name is. Check it, Robert Sherrill, my teacher.
But it's okay.
Art center here. Yeah, I take his watercolor and oil class. He would do 2 demos. And I just realized how hard it is to do demo, to finish 2 demos in 1 hour. Then give us. So my schedule is to follow his step, but I couldn't do it. I'm sorry. I didn't give you enough time to do yours.
You've gone beyond your schedule anyway.
Yeah. It's a little bit difficult for me to control the time while, but he controls very good time. He do half an hour watercolor, half an hour oil. I try to do the same thing.
Oh, wow.
Do something, I try to do 1 hour demo, 1 hour.
Oh, thank you, Henry.
Okay, sorry about okay, next week I make sure if you come back next week, I will make sure you have time to do the work in class. But I think you'll learn more from my mistakes and my thought process. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Next weekend or following weekend, we'll post more. If you like this time, we'll repeat this, or we can alternate the morning and the night.
Okay.
That's beautiful, Henry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Henry.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Yes,
Take
you as
care.
well.
Stay safe, everybody.
Thank
See you in the online class.
Yeah.
I'll post
Be
them.
safe, everybody.
All right.
Thanks, Henry.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Hear you.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. I'll say after 吴冠中，访吴冠中。Oh, blue. Okay, just like that. This very small signature. I have to use a tiny seal. Okay, let me see.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Night. Really small, tiny seal here.
It's a 3-day workshop. It's a 3-day workshop. You get all the information you're ever going to get in the first day, usually in the first morning.
Let me mute everybody again. If you want to talk, you can unmute yourself. I'm still around. If you want
Bye,
to.
Bye, Victoria. Stay safe.
Stay safe, everybody. Let me bring back the original to show you the. Okay, here's the original and my copy side by side. I turned it to the vertical a little different. I need to darken that roof. It's not contrast enough. I just use my signature brush to draw some tires there. Maybe that's good. So when you add something, you try to not to repeat, just simply repeat. You can add things to it, not just repeat. So this is the focal point. So I just add a little more. That's it, I think. And some tired eaves. Somehow I like the door there. Yeah, there's a window missing. I was looking for that. Okay. Just a fit of a door or something. Okay. That's focal point, focal area. I'm gonna stop recording. That's finished. Where's the recording? Already stopped? Possibly stop recording.
No, you're still recording.